How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and yeah, back doing a second mission on this new game, Expeditions, a SnowRunner game, and yeah, back on Little Colorado. You can see now, like I say, I've done the first expedition, so I've got these other 4 missions unlocked. I'm going to do the one called Stone Ford, as it was saying. It wants me to go and explore an area. There's a bit of an odd thing with this mission. Well, no, I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, so for the vehicle, I decided this time I'm going for the Loadstar 1700 SE. So it's the version I got for getting, like, well, apparently I got like the top version of the game, but then I've already seen people like hours and hours and hours ago have videos on YouTube of this game. So whatever Supreme edition I got, I obviously didn't get the Supreme Mega Daddy God Mode edition because, yeah, I still didn't get the game early or whatever it was. God knows how that works. But yeah, I got my Loadstar 1700. I added jack screws and anchors. And then when I went to deploy, it basically brought this other... It's like a H or whatever. I think it stands for headquarters, actually. It brought like a second, should we say, garage up on the map, like to spawn from. So I spawned over on this side. And I believe this was, again, the second time I got this footage. And this that I've just drove into, this box, you can see there's like something under a tarpaulin there. I built that and it cost me 10 grand, and I'm just throwing it out there because it doesn't really, I suppose now in hindsight it's like, yeah, you kind of could have read it a bit better. But you see, driving up to this one, when I get in there it says you click on it and then it says X to build. I was like, oh cool, but if you actually go back and watch in the top right, my money went from 18 odd grand to 8. Yeah, so it just cost me 10 grand to put that little thing there, and all it is, it's got supplies and stuff in there, but I've already got them on my truck. So it wants me to travel. Well, the first checkpoint is over there, which is right next to the original headquarters, the garage or whatever you spawn from. And that's why I restarted this mission again, really, because I actually travelled to that gateway, the garage, just like using the recover method. And yeah, I don't know why, but when I click on this Stone Ford mission, it started me, it's as if it wants me to start over here, but like I say, you can travel and kind of cut out the main part of the mission. I noticed there was a truck sat down there. Yeah, and long story short, I mean, it wants me to drive, so I kind of figured, sod it, I'm going in, I'm sending the truck kind of, as you can tell, I've not explored the map. I kind of know now, but I didn't even know which way to rotate the map, which way was north, or what was going on, because you don't really have the edges to begin with to kind of orientate the map to a bit of a better direction. So as I'm heading over here, there was like a little question mark, so I thought I'll drive past that. And then yeah, I'm essentially driving from this new second headquarter thing you can deploy from, back over to where the first original one was, like where I just started the first mission from. I've just done a video on that, and where like the tutorial starts from as well. So yeah, my advice for now would be, don't just click build on these 2 sections. So at least not now. Worst case, you can always just deploy to that H thing and build them at any point or whatever. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth like 10-20 grand getting blown at the minute just to waste on them, really. And yeah, I just figured though, this mission was kind of a good chance to set off and actually start driving across the map properly, really, without kind of a tutorial and that holding my hand. I didn't even know if this was the right direction or not, but I panned around with my on the mini-map a bit, and again, I could just kind of tell there was a viable route going this way. It was hard to tell if any other way was even remotely sort of doable. What I did notice though, on this map, as you can tell, I've not got like the whole map uncovered yet, but when you actually click and scroll through the different missions you can select, it actually shows you an overview of the full map. So you can actually, like, it's not ideal, I'm still obviously going to explore the map and everything anyway, but I'm just throwing it out there. It doesn't, there's not a whole lot to take in from like what you can see with this map, but maybe the Arizona one or the Appalachian one or whatever, they might, yeah, you might be able to sort of work out a bit more detail. For example, you might see a lake on there and you might be able to tell, like, is it possible to go north around the lake, or, you know, does the lake kind of phase into the edge of the map and there's no way to cross? Yeah, like I say, for this one I brought this Loadstar SE, which for what it's worth, by the way, I went in the garage and I actually equipped a few things to this truck. Nothing crazy. I think I changed the tyres, which there was only like one other set of tyres to choose from. What else did I do to it? Was this the one that had a better engine? No, I don't think it did. But again, it appears like in the garage. I'm guessing even with the normal game, it'll let you start with a Loadstar, a Dom 71, a Step 310, which I always call a Step Toe, and then that Action. But like I say, because I've got this Pioneer pack or whatever, which is like essentially a DLC, but I got it with the version of the game I bought. Yeah, it's given me like a version of each vehicle that has SE at the end of the name. I'm guessing that stands for, I believe the version I bought was called the Supreme Edition. Like, it sounds odd to say that, but I don't know. I think it was. And that's what I'm guessing SE stands for. Yeah, they don't appear to be like, I don't think it's night and day difference. You could definitely say like it's a bit pay to win, but I don't know. When it's like a single player game and it's versus yourself or the game, I don't really care whether something's pay to win or not. I wouldn't care if they added the option of like the most upgraded Daddy Beast mode truck that you can buy instantly, because again, it's like if it was on like, you know, like Call of Duty or something, you're versing other people, then I don't like pay to win, because it's just everyone gets a leg up on like player versus player. But when it's a PvE game, like player versus environment, yeah, I don't really care. You can have a monster truck. There's already a mod menu, but there's no mods on there yet. But that's good to know that they've already got the mods like just installed within the game, like from launch. Really, I'm guessing it's not going to be that long before various modders get mods on there. So yeah, it's only going to be a matter of time before we've got mods anyway that, you know, effectively can be like all kinds of beast mode. Yeah, and then it's down to the person whether you want to go for the best trucks or you want to kind of go for the more stock trucks. Like, for example, I did the tutorial, but then that mission I've just done a video on called First Expedition, I used the TUZ Action, but I used the normal in-game one, not the SE version that I've been given. Yeah, for this, to be honest, I didn't even put too much thought as in like, oh, it might make the mission easier. I was flicking through the different vehicles. I'd already used the Action. I didn't really want to use the Dom 71. I have actually already used the Step 310. I did, that First Expedition mission I did a video of, I did that originally with the Step 310, and again, it was just so kind of like choppy and stop-starty and all that. I just, that was when I decided to load back to the main menu and just delete the game and start the tutorial again, and then that First Expedition, which I then did in the Action. Yeah, so I was just picking different vehicles really, and I ended up getting this one. Like the videos tonight, or this morning really, a little bit not rushed in that sense, but you know, I've had a go. Like I've not been on the game for like 8 hours. Like the game released, I've had kind of about 2 hours on it, but again, I kind of restarted and just trying to figure out what the controls were and all sorts. Yeah, I just wanted to get some videos up just to say like there's a new game out. Here's a first look at it for any of you that are kind of wondering how the game looks before you might decide whether to buy it or not. Yeah, as you can see now, as I was going down here though, I rolled, and these are some of the new features in this game. So I had the jack screw option or the anchor option. I'll explain the jack screw in a minute. The anchor, as you can see, within like a certain distance of my truck, I can place an anchor in the ground. So essentially it's like a mobile winch point, which I just want to throw out. Loaf was OG mobile winch point. Okay, he was mobile winch point before expeditions existed. Yeah, but as you can see, it works pretty nicely. You kind of just bolt it into the ground, and then you can fire a winch to it. I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident, but I appear to have an autonomous winch, or what the equivalent would be, from SnowRunner. And yeah, by the way, on the way, this is one of these airdrop things, which is the one I actually discovered in the First Expedition mission video I did. When you look here, there was 2 lots of scrap metal and some more of those anchors. I just grabbed everything out of there. I also grabbed a bit of fuel, and then there is some spare parts as well, but I haven't actually like broken anything and used any of my spare parts up here. Oh, I probably have broken stuff actually. I've just not used the spare parts yet, so I couldn't transfer them over to my inventory. Yeah, this is pretty much on the way to where I'm heading. I just thought, while I'm driving past, I'll see what it's all about. Kind of, yeah, still trying to figure it all out myself, really. Like I say, I did see sort of 5-10 hours ago that there was people who have put videos of this game up on YouTube, but I didn't watch any of them. I haven't seen, yeah, anything. So I have no idea, kind of. That's essentially why I restarted the game at one point, because, yeah, it was just like the blind leading the blind, and I kind of thought, if I'm making a video and it's basically just a video of me going, oh, what's this do? Oh, wrong button, blah, 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 you know, it's kind of not really bringing anything to the table, really. And kind of, even though this is scraping the barrel, it's got, at least there's, yeah, a little bit more fluidity in the video going, other than just like, yeah, stopping and starting every 2 seconds, getting sidetracked by how to access the winch and the drones and all that sort of stuff. It does seem like this game seems a bit more faffy than SnowRunner, but again, because it's early days and I've only been playing it for an hour and I've been used to SnowRunner for 4 years, I'm obviously, you know, got to give it a little bit of time just to like get used to how all the new menus work and all the rest of it. Overall though, certainly there's promising elements to this game that I think are, I mean, clearly it's pretty similar to SnowRunner, which isn't a bad thing because I really like SnowRunner. Yeah, you can sort of tell some things they've tried which, I don't know, for example, like, say how you access the winch. I'd rather it just be how it used to be. I think you just used to press up on the D-pad. And now pressing up on the D-pad access is first person mode, which is like, do we really need such snappy, important, instant access? While I'm driving, you can see that my marker in the background is the first checkpoint I've got to go to, but I was just passing that. I thought it was a fuel station. It said it was like a thing for a new mission called A Beautiful View, which I've actually done now. Yeah, so there's the garage to the left of the screen, and then that's the first checkpoint I have to drive through, which, like I say, if you just transfer over to that garage, if you wanted to, that'll save the entire drive I've just done, basically. That's explaining about the jack screw. So what it does is, say you roll over, you basically select the jack screw, and it just, imagine like a ghost version of your truck that's flipped back up the right way is hovering on the map, and you just get to place it down. So it's essentially like a get out of jail free sort of, you've rolled over, you can just spawn yourself back on your wheels. Obviously within my inventory there's 2 of them per inventory slot, so I can do it twice. I'm assuming throughout the game at some point, like, we could put more jack screws in the inventory and all the rest of it. Yeah, I've mostly used the anchors. I have actually ended up using that jack screw now in a different mission I did. This mission's basically wanting you to drive just over here, but the mission was kind of implying no vehicle has been able to get to this point, so they were saying, we want to see if you can. That's not what I was going to say, SnowRunner. An expeditions professional, goddamn professional, speaking of which. It says you need to do some kind of mission to unlock the loaf, and I've scrolled through it, I can't see the mission name at all. Anchor, if you want to use a winch, again it shrinks the screen which makes it really awkward to try and read stuff. It's basically saying, if you've got no winch points, you can place a winch point, which I've already used them at this point, but this is essentially the mission that's trying to kind of walk you through, forcing you to have to use them by like this little sort of bridge I've got to try and jump over now. I do find so far a couple of times the bumpers seem a bit too hooky and sharp with the hitboxes on this game. Like you can see now, that's just, I'm stuck. Like the bumper absolutely will not just bump up my little lip. So I reversed. I kind of figured over to the left is looking potentially more going on the diagonal, so I can get one wheel bumped up before the bumper starts wrecking it for everyone. But again, I've placed one of those mobile winch points. Oh yeah, and just to throw out as well, I didn't actually, like, I'm driving over that mobile winch point or whatever. I noticed though, after I turned this game off and came to edit it, in the trophies of this game, it says something about picking up anchor. I think you might be able to retrieve those anchor points, but I'm not sure yet. I just noticed it in the trophies. Yeah, and that's that mission complete. So you can see there it's saying like how much I've earned, and then it says items sold again, which I believe is like the items that I collected out of that box, like the scrap metal and that, and I've also the items I had, like the jack screw and the anchors, and yeah, I've sold those back. I will just throw out as well, you can actually change the time of day on this game. but it doesn't appear to... I can't find anywhere where it says what time of day it is. So I just did this entire mission where it's going dark. Eventually, I think you press L3 when you're on the mini-map. Yeah, but I can't see anywhere where it says the time, so you kind of... It's a lucky dip figuring out, like, which one to change it to. Here's a couple I did change it to. This is, like, I believe about as bright as it gets, which is nice, because it does feel very bright and sunny at that point. There's a saving cogs, which are the same as SnowRunner. This is dawn. There's kind of like midday, dusk, middle of the night, and dawn, so it's kind of the four main phases, a bit like SnowRunner as well. And yeah, like I say, that's this mission in the bag. And then the next mission I went and did is this beautiful view, which I've basically got to climb up the rocks in front of me. And there's like a location, yeah, you can see up there. But yeah, that's another one in the bag. That's that for today. I hope you enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a loaf still, even though he's not appeared yet, but he will when I can get him. Yeah, and I'll be back soon.